Woke up this morning, my bag's still here. Apes on the screen, attendees shedding tears. Send my calls to the moon. Oh, I tried, but the S&P and NASDAQ just left inside. I got the hot little blues. Yeah, my bags won't move. Diamond hands aching. Gotta find my groove. 10 is wailing, apes all around. Bull Barbie's laugh is the only sound. The charts keep dancing, the candles swing. 𝗘𝗰𝗁𝗁 smiling while my heart stings. I held my push through the crazy night, hoping my sins would finally take flight. I got the hollow blues, yeah, my bags won't move. Diamond hands aching, gotta find my groove. Tennies wailing, apes all around. Bull Barbie's laugh is the only sound. Some say Huddle is pain, some say Huddle is glory. I say Huddle's a story worth the worry. Apes salute, bags tremble, sins fly high.
Good morning.
Till we touch the sky.
I've got the 𝗓𝗏 new cracked. Not very consumed yet, but it's started. It's the lime slushy flavor. I love that one. I guess it's getting mixed reviews, but that's okay. Anyway, here we are, last trading day of the week. And I have us on the daily chart right now. This is just me OCDing over here. It's okay. So this is the SPY daily chart, and y'all might have seen me kind of mess with this before with my Keltner channels and some select little EMAs. It helps me kind of see what where the extremes are and that sort of thing. So obviously we've been hitting low extreme after low extreme after low extreme. Yesterday was the first time we made it all the way back up to the 21 EMA, and here we are right now, about to gap down. We'll talk about that. I'll show you what the ES well, let me go to the one that doesn't have levels. Sorry. The ES is looking pretty similar, but you can see, you know, we don't have the gap because we have the overnight price action, but just really holding that downtrend. We've been trying to buy some dips, or at least think about it, and it's been a little rough. But good morning, Hadley, Queen of Trades, and Mandy, and of course Ranchbot and KJ. Welcome. Yeah, we'll get to Trump. We'll get to Trump. Let's do it over here, because over here we can see the VIX. I'm zoomed out a little bit, but that's because I wanted to see where we'd been. So yeah, the other day, earlier this week, was this 2 days ago, Trump saying, yeah, the Iran conflict is, we don't have to worry about that anymore. We're going to have a ceasefire. New guy wants a ceasefire. We all want a ceasefire. Let's go. Yeah, we didn't get a ceasefire. Because last night, in the, whatever the speech was last night, he's talking about 2 to 3 more weeks of escalation. So I've been starting to talk more in the terms of risk on, risk off. That's kind of the way the professional traders talk. That would be risk off, right? Risk off. You don't want to be messing with the markets when it's that crazy. So we've got no real sort of, this is what I talked about earlier in the week. Like we were breaking structure potentially to the upside. That's kind of what I was showing you over here on the daily, where we were starting to kind of test that upwards. We were putting upwards pressure on the market. But that whole thing kind of counted on the narrative being that the Iran conflict was ending, de-escalating, however you want to put it. So the risk to that was that walks back. And last night, Trump walked that back. So sure enough, we're back in a downtrend. VIX gapped up. VIX is climbing higher. We've got the US dollar climbing higher. I've been trying to put this one back on y'all's radar lately. So this is the hourly. It's just showing kind of the trends of what's going on. Yes, and NASDAQ took a really nice bounce. Especially, yes, and NASDAQ Dow, and everybody did too. But yeah, then Trump kind of pooped on that parade last night. So today we're kind of sitting, we've got the geopolitical shock a little bit. And then we've got a little bit of macro catalyst. This week was a really busy week. So, all of this red folder this week, we just had unemployment claims come out. Not too bad, a little bit cool, huh? So we got a little bit of mixed conditions coming in. We do have some data tomorrow too, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, so the national address or whatever it was last night, Trump's big, the headline that everybody's sticking on is that we could see extremely hard strikes for Iran over the next 2 or 3 weeks. He's threatened to hit power plants and oil and all this kind of stuff. So now that whole ceasefire idea gone. So the crude is up. I don't have crude on here right now. We can look at crude if you want to, but or you can trust me. Crude's up, dollar's up, and VIX is up, but the equity markets are expected to be down. So, with that, should we get into the levels? Let's get into the levels. All right. It's watching the Discord. They're being funny over there. So we've got kind of, well, I mean, these are the kind of the same spots we've been watching. I'm going to try to zoom this. I kind of ended up with an air gap in there. It's ugly. I don't like it. But we've got some pretty clear levels. We've got the well, let's see. I'm trying to figure out how I want to approach this the best way, because we've got, like, basically I would call it upside continuation, but we're not really continuing anymore. But so, well, we'll talk about the bullish idea. So if the market's deciding that this whole thing with the national address last night or whatever that Trump's saying, that the ceasefire is not over, if that becomes smaller news today and everything's sunshine and rainbows, that's where we would retrace this overnight move. So basically we would need to find support at 65.23, get up there, not only test but break that magnet we've had there at 65.50, and then get back up to 65.75, 65.90. I want to point out that all these levels that I had drawn on the chart, like I've adjusted these a little bit this week, but when I come in with these Monday, if I do this again, if y'all like these, I'll keep coming back to them. But we've got this, these levels that I told y'all on Monday, they've been playing all week. So we may not have been looking at this level specifically the other day, but even though we've had it on our charts and just waited for it, there we are. So anyway, after that, if we get through that 50, obviously we've got the 65.73 up there, 65.90, 6600. This is kind of crazy that we just keep making these 100-point plus moves on the S&P, like even overnight. That's crazy. It's basically, you know, we ripped through 6600 support down to basically 6500. Pretty crazy. Anyway, yeah, so that's why I'm not real attached to that bullish idea. We could get a little bit of a relief bounce though. So even if we're not feeling like it's a risk off idea, we could get some relief bounce that at least gets us up towards that 65.50. If we get through there, that's where we could potentially start squeezing a little bit into the 73, 65, 90 area. But that's gonna need a little bit of optimism, so we'll kind of think about that one. It could also just kind of end up in some chop between this low down here. What do we end up with the low at? That chart's not telling me. Our low was, oh, that was NASDAQ. Our low was at 65.0375. So we could kind of ping pong between that low and where was I? The 65.50 up here. This kind of, we could create a pink box of shame kind of in this area. Potentially, this would be where if the market's really not sure, if we've already made this overnight move, if the re-escalation deal idea, if this was repricing that idea, repricing the market to meet that idea, that's where I'm worried about that chop idea coming in, where you know, that was where we lost. This is going to end up being an important level because that was support that we lost right there at 65.90. But as long as the price stays below that, we're satisfying that sentiment, that fear sentiment, and holding the market lower. And that's why this can end up being kind of a really choppy zone if we don't have more fear to price in, if that makes sense. Plus with that number, the unemployment claims did come in a little bit gentle, so they were a little bit lower than the expectation. Here, I'll put that back. So the unemployment claims, and if y'all aren't like looking in on here, you should, but the unemployment claims, they were expected to be a little bit higher, but pretty close to last month at 212, and they came in at 202. So that's actually good news. By the way, this is actually coming up on our calendar too. I have to hype this a little bit because I've worked my ass off on this. But if you come to our calendar, I've been loading all these dates, so you can hover over it and it'll tell you the information that I just told you, like if it's cooler, what kind of reaction we can expect. And then once the well, it's supposed to, I don't have an old one on here. It should tell you what the actual was after, and then you have the estimates for the upcoming. Anyway, let's go back to that bearish plan because that's kind of there. I lost my notes. That's all right. It's kind of clear. If we lose the 6,500, we've got that taco low candle. I'm talking about last week when we de-escalated. This was where we took off from. This was the low of that candle when Trump announced that we had good news in Iran. So now we're kind of back to testing that low. So that is the next major level down that we have. We still could potentially test that 64.8350. And then below that, if we start breaking through there, then we're just going to start looking for these other levels that we've put in down here. So 64.71, 64.54. If we lose 64.54, we really do have a kind of bit of a gap down here that we could fall down into. Something I didn't mark on this chart was it really was the 420 level came up. They could potentially put the brakes on, but the main target to get down there would be the 64.10, 64.07. But look at how big of a drop that would be. So I know you bears like get excited, but look at how big of a drop that would be. 221 points in one day on ES. That would be a lot of fear and upset. So honestly, I'm kind of leaning into this kind of more choppy idea. And it's not just based on the overnight and what's been going on. It's also based on the news that we have coming up. And I just showed you my calendar. I'm working on it. I'm kind of going back and forth between these two. I'm trying to make mine have all the extra information that I like. Anyway, so the market is closed tomorrow, or the New York Stock Exchange is closed tomorrow. The futures market is going to be open. But we do have non-farm payrolls tomorrow. It's a huge number. And then we also have the unemployment rate and hourly earnings. But this one right here, the non-farm employment change, that's the one that the market's going to be the most interested in. It's also kind of the most volatile. And then next week we have some more big heavy hitters. I mean, I was saying this was a big heavy hitting week. We kind of have one next week too. The meeting minutes are going to come out, and I'm not expecting this. It's red folder because it can potentially do a lot. I'm not expecting next week's to be too crazy, but we do have GDP, PCE, CPI. So Thursday and Friday next week are going to be our big days to watch out for. So we could end up in a little bit of a quieter market coming into that. The number one driver in the market though, and because this just like cannot be understated right now, is still the Iran headlines. So if we have any shift towards a ceasefire, then we get this. If we get any shift away, then we get this. So that's kind of simple to understand. So yeah, I told you futures are open tomorrow, but the equities are closed. Non-farm payroll is going to hit with lighter volume. So if you do want to trade tomorrow, it could be high risk, high reward kind of situation. I'm not going to participate. I like to say that, you know what, the market's taking a day off, so am I. But if y'all want to, that will be there. So this is kind of the chart that I'll be looking to trade the market today. If y'all want me to stream some trading live next week, I'm open to that. Just let me know. See if I can work that out. I want to make sure I get not a boring day, so it won't be like tomorrow, but that's okay. I missed some of y'all in chat. Oh, we had 69 watching. Of course, that's classic. Thanks for noticing that, Boba. Miss K, you know, you can wake up late and get the replay. That's part of why I'm doing this early, is so you can get on, get the info, and get the replay. Trump said nothing about, well, Trump said a lot and nothing all at the same time, but that's the way it usually is. So. Okay, yeah, I think I covered all of the big stuff. It's a little bit quieter today, I think, because we are heading into the holiday. Of course, it's Good Friday tomorrow, so Easter coming up. I hope y'all have a really great long weekend. My kids will be home, so we'll be having some fun. If you're not in the Discord, I don't know why. I'm gonna give you this top secret link to get in there right now. We've been having some really great voice sessions in the morning, and of course our chat, especially after hours, can get wild. So it should be fun this weekend. Alrighty, on that note, I'm gonna head out and head over to Discord and get some kids off to school and then hit the trading. Thanks for joining me this morning. If you liked this, be sure to, you know, show it by liking the stream, because that's how I know that y'all appreciate this and it's worthwhile, and I should come back and do it next week. It's a little bit, I kind of prefer this format, doing the pre-market prep this way instead of trying to type it all out and hope I don't forget something. But yeah, that's what we got right now. I will see you soon over in the Discord.
Feel so real till slip page shows you how live trades feel. Not saying it's fake, just saying it's loud, and nobody shows the redraw down. Some people win, yeah, that's true, but the odds ain't what the ads show you. Still, we try again, because hope sells better than discipline. Rock firm, change my life, affiliate link. Zero risk, it's such a rent, I think. Just trust the process, buy my course. Trade copy of Discord, monthly force. Every loss is part of the plan. Every win gets a slow-mo pan. If it works, I'm a prodigy. If it fails, it's psychology. Final fun dig, say it proud till the rule book spins around. Best traded on YouTube, don't forget. Title says consistent, results say semi-fun did. Here we go, same level, same dream, same promo code. Blow it up, reload, stay devoted. See you tomorrow. Day one of my comeback. Not financial advice. Not emotional advice either. But if you passed once, you'll probably pass again, Until